So I went to the Seattle Krakens game.
Nice. How was it? Was that your first time at the stadium?
Yeah, actually, since it was Key Arena. And I probably haven't been to Key Arena since the Thunderbirds last played there, which was like 2009.
Oh,
I
haven't been to Key Arena since the
Disney on Ice.
Welcome to Namely 90s. Wow. The podcast that takes you back to the time before smartphones, Google, and Y2K. Join your hosts as they relive the pop culture that shaped a generation and the parts that many people wish they could forget. Listen in to the conversation about how the decade defined those who spent their childhood there and how it shaped them as adults. So, turn down the grunge and dial up the internet. Let's get started. It's time for Namely 90s.
That's right. You're listening to Namely 90s. My name's Andrew, and over there is Brandon.
That's me.
You can find us online at namely90s.com or on Instagram and Bluesky at Namely90s. You can also find the show on YouTube every Monday at youtube.com/@namely90s. And if you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/namely90s to get signed up for one of our support levels. Brandon's doing a pretty good job of looking frozen.
Yeah, that was I wasn't breathing. Yeah, lacked the air for that one.
But yet again, could see the fan moving every time.
But they can't.
True.
They can't. Oh, cool. I can't actually look at this on the web browser. But yeah, how's it? What's up?
It's good. It's good.
Double.
We've been having internet problems here in the neighborhood. Comcast stated explicitly that they would be working on the internet and that we would experience intermittent outages as they improve the system. Mm-hmm. And then people lost their GD mind. They just went nuts over it. Like I work from home, like go to Starbucks for like 5 minutes, like calm down.
I work from home.
Like I've lived here 4 years. I can count on one hand the number of times the internet's gone out. Like chill the F out. Right.
Yeah. I mean, people be needing them internets. I think
well, they were like, I got a hotspot and I used all of my data and their solution was to get an unlimited plan. I'm like, well, yeah, you used your limit. Like,
yeah.
Exactly.
You've used your limit. You should pay for more if you're going to need it.
Yeah. So anyway,
like, unless you've somehow like not put the safeguards up to be like, hey, don't use all of my data if you suddenly switch to it. Yeah, I have no sympathy.
One would think.
Yeah. I didn't start the timer.
That's okay. It's been about 2 minutes.
Cool. Cool. How was life without the internet for 5 minutes?
I was surprisingly lost without the internet. I didn't know what to do. It was bad. The kids were confused. It was like the apocalypse was coming. We started breaking in the emergency rations, the emergency kit.
The emergency internet rations?
Yeah. But no, what else is new? I watched that new documentary on Max, the Nickelodeon one, Quiet on Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV.
But that was
not a sponsor. So,
like, I don't actually know, other than the memes I've been seeing, and TikToks. I've been seeing,
Meme talks.
I don't know much about it other than it's 2000s Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I mean, they do cover a bit of 90s Nickelodeon before they roll into the 2000s. The one thing that bothered me is that there was this reporter who had written this article, and she was like really terrible on camera. People will disagree with me, but she also just said stuff that just like sounded sort of libelous / slanderous. Like,
sure.
Like she just goes, Dan Schneider's parents didn't think he would amount to much. And I'm like, prove that. Like, what? You can't just use a statement like that. It's very annoying. But he's kind of a creep.
Dan Schneider or the pickle guy?
Oh, the pickle guy. He likes to hurt and tease pickles. Oh man.
Yeah.
It's a good. I mean, it's a bad watch. It's a rough watch, but it's worth watching.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the takeaways that pissed me off was people are like going to other like cast members of Drake Bell and just like haranguing them on Instagram. Like, why aren't you speaking out about this? Why haven't you made a statement? Why are you not? It's like they probably either A, also went through it themselves.
Yeah.
B, I don't know. Celebrities don't owe anything to their fans in that regard. Like,
also, don't victimize potential victims, right?
Right? Yeah. It's like, yeah. How dare you not support the guy that was...
Here's the good thing for Dan Schneider. This was like, it wasn't really a hit piece. Like,
right.
They weren't kind to him, but it was all kind of stuff he had coming. But he actually comes out looking pretty good in the end because they like detour for an episode to the worst guy ever.
Yeah.
And then come back to him. And it's like, okay, well, like he's a creep, but like a creep light. It's not okay. It's not excusable, but it's all relative.
He's a Tarantino. He gets the excuse because he one didn't take it as far because of that the other guy did, apparently, and two, he gave everyone shows for 2 decades.
This does solidify the fact that like I have no idea who Amanda Bynes is. People talk about her all the time. You talk about her all the time. I have no idea who the F this chick is.
What?
Like she looked kind of familiar. That was like the most I could say.
I literally reference one of her All That bits every single episode.
I know. And every time I'm like, okay, yeah, Amanda Bynes. Great. No idea.
So Schneider responded on Tuesday in a video saying, watching over the past 2 nights was very difficult. Me facing my past behaviors, some of which are embarrassing and that I regret. And I definitely owe some people a pretty strong apology. That is a small statement from a 20-minute video posted on his YouTube channel. Something that I don't want to click on.
Too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing that Nickelodeon kept saying is that they put numerous safeguards in place. I'm like, why did 3 people get convicted of like molesting people during working at your company?
Yeah.
Like, guess what? Your safeguards didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Also, I thought all of these shows were Disney shows. Just every single one. Just the lot of them.
What?
I had no idea there were Nickelodeon shows. I mean, like the early ones, sure.
Okay.
But then like when they started talking about, there was no distinction for me in the 2000s. Like in the 2000s, every show that was referenced to me was a Disney show.
So from Zoe 101 through, I assume, Henry Danger or something.
Yeah. And by the way, that Henry Danger show is effing unwatchable. It's bad. Horrible.
I didn't watch that. I did watch.
Well, my kids had it on and I was like,
gotcha.
This is trash. And at one point, like one of the kids was like he was cross-dressing and putting like big boobs under his shirt. And I was like, I don't like this episode. Like, this is weird. So I turned it off and then I was like, oh, it's a Dan Schneider property. That's why.
I mean, here's the thing. From like, this is not me defending anything.
Yeah. I'm
gonna preface it with that. But like, from the other side, from like it's kids television from the 90s, stemming from the original like 90s Nickelodeon, where it's like we accept kids, like we're not pandering to you, we are making programming for you.
Yeah. There's also
and we're
the
treating
element
you like adults, and I think that's where the line gets a little blurred and a little gross.
There's also certain movies where it's like
adult.
Like we just rewatched Shrek with the kids, and there's definitely jokes for the adults there, but there's like an understanding that adults will be there watching. The thing that was awkward about Nickelodeon is it was kind of like TV without the adults for the kids. Like parents didn't watch a lot of Nickelodeon with their kids. It was mostly just the kids watching it. So that's where it gets a little creepy that they can like they put jokes in for the adults, but there were no adults in the room. That's odd. That's odd to me.
I mean, some of the clips you shared with me, I did feel shouldn't have been for the adults.
Yeah, some of the clips were pretty rough.
Like Ariana Grande doing the interstitials.
Oh, you did? Yeah, that one is... No.
For Victorious.
And there's one where she puts her own toe in her mouth. Did you see that one?
That was in the package that you sent.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it showed all of them. Or
it was real bad.
It must have just been like on in a playlist or something. But it was.
I'd like to think that the industry has completely changed, but I highly doubt that.
Well, and here's the thing: like I've watched episodes of Victorious, and I'm pretty sure I've seen those interstitials. But at the time, it did not register, like because it's taken out of context ish. But then just like looking at it, I'm like, yeah, that's the
one where Ray Romano accepts a pickle through a glory hole in a men's room and then eats it while moaning, and then the convicted molester sits outside and like listens to him moan. That there's no way.
It just kept going.
Yeah, it was bad.
But you said that was later. All that like
it was like it was later. All that. That's true. Anyway, I mean, it's worth watching. Not
that like. They definitely like made out with a giant ear of corn at one time.
Yeah. No, I also forgot that we talked about this, but I forgot Mark Summers was on Nickelodeon because I know him from Unwrapped on Food Network.
Wasn't it like Double Dare?
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, well, that's been 10 minutes or more. That's been right about 10.
He was on the 2002 episode of all of that, season 7, which was past my time.
Let's see what else. Possible new James Bond, actually not confirmed.
Oh, I actually do have something for this.
Okay.
We could talk about that later.
Yeah.
But we're going to do what do I call it? I call it Boot or Reboot. And we're gonna just slightly outside of the 90s, like 1989. So much so it's so much a 1989 that like repeats were on TV. It was still a part of the lexicon as we moved through the early 90s. Let me just get this queued up for you. And I need to share my screen. And yeah, we're going to boot or reboot Roadhouse. And I've not seen either movie either, so I get to play along as well.
Roadhouse. Hugh Laurie shows up.
So, you ready for this?
Sure. Oh, is this the guy with the guy from Top Gun is in the new one, isn't he? No.
It's right. No, it's not Spider-Man. It's the other one. Brokeback Mountain. Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh no. Okay. Aggressive.
Yeah.
Can I buy you guys a drink? Guess not.
Was that Drambuie?
Patrick Swayze.
Probably.
Dalton.
Oh, the
I
voice.
thought you'd be bigger.
Opinions vary.
When he's around, anything can happen,
How does a guy like you end up a bouncer?
Just lucky, I guess.
and usually does.
Okay. So, as usual, we have to stop it so that we don't get copyright claimed on.
First of all, loving the voiceover. I just can't get over this voiceover guy.
The old school voiceover guy.
Yep.
Do you know what the story of Roadhouse is?
I can't say that I do.
Well, let's watch a little bit more, see if they explain it, but I'll cut in later on.
Somebody gets in your face, I want you to be nice.
Don't be rude.
Ask him to walk, but be nice.
Help this gentleman to the door.
Until it's time to not be nice.
So says the fighting philosopher.
That's a 44-year-old Sam Neill.
It was Sam Neill?
Sam Neill.
I don't know. I think this movie's just about kicking people in the face.
So Patrick Swayze is a bouncer. Professional bouncer, former UFC middleweight fighter.
Okay.
And he takes up a new job. Apparently he's like super famous in the sorry, I was looking at the 2024 one. He's a security club. He's a bouncer working security for a club in New York City. And yeah, that doesn't make sense. UFC didn't exist back then. Patrick Swayze is a bouncer in Jasper, Missouri.
Ah, there it is. Missouri.
Yep. Missouri. And that's all we know at the moment.
He may be hard to handle.
I keep talking, you're gonna go off thinking I'm a nice guy.
I know you're not a nice guy.
But he's easy to like.
What's the matter, Dalton? Don't you like women?
Oh, I hate her.
The worst I ever had was wonderful.
I have no idea who she is.
She plays Susan Lewis's mentally ill sister in ER.
Ah, that makes sense. That is Sunshine. No. Who is that?
I don't know. Nobody.
Because Kelly Lynch is the blonde.
Yeah,
woman.
she's not the good-looking one. That's for sure.
Kathleen Wilhoit.
Yeah, sure. That's the one.
Sure. She was in Lorenzo's Oil.
What you'd expect.
I thought you'd be bigger.
But there's one thing you can count on. He's the best friend. A good time.
I thought you'd be bigger. It's not something I thought I'd hear in a...
You guys
Sorry, is that from a Nickelodeon show?
My needle undead. This is my time.
Yeah, Sam Neill's like his bodyguard mentor or something.
It's not a thing.
I'm not afraid of him.
They're friends, I think.
Oh, so I thought it was that one guy. Who does he look like in this movie?
I just think I'm looking
Sam
at
Neill?
it.
Or not Sam. Sorry, I keep saying Sam Neill. It's Sam Elliott.
Thank you. I was going to say, that's not Sam Neill.
Gee, I've never heard that before.
Sam Elliott.
Okay.
You know the voice.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious if that was Sam Neill.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just plot synopsis. Roadhouse is a 1989 American action film directed by Rowdy Harrington. Stars Patrick Swayze, Kelly Lynch, Sam Elliott, and Ben Gazzara. The plot follows a cooler is what it says on Wikipedia, which is a bouncer at a newly refurbished roadside bar who protects a small town in Missouri from a corrupt businessman.
Missouri.
There's also a Roadhouse 2, which was released in 2006. So did you glean anything from that? Was that?
Well, I'm trying to confirm something. Oh, the guy who did the soundtrack did the music. It's the same person who did the music for Band of Brothers.
No way.
Yeah, Michael
Wow.
Kamen.
Huh.
It looked like a no holds barred ass kicking fest. Honestly,
Yeah.
with some hot blonde chicks.
Famous moments in the movie, from what I understand, are Swayze doing the half naked Tai Chi.
Yeah.
I don't think he says Roadhouse at any time in the film like Peter Griffin does, but there's a lot of ass kicking. I forgot to share the sound again. So now 2004's version, like I said, is Jake Gyllenhaal.
2024.
2024. Where's time gone?
Jake Gyllenhaal doesn't seem like a serious actor anymore.
I
don't know why.
In Spider-Man or whatever. He was in Spider-Man. Forgot about that. Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Before we start, do you have insurance?
What?
Your coverage good? Like, you have dental?
Oh, haha.
Is there a hospital nearby? Is it, like, too far?
About like 25 minutes, I'd say.
I just slapped you. Are you all right?
What?
So you like to fight?
Thoughts?
Well, I didn't realize I was going to be watching a slap fight. First of all, you know, there's like that new. Is it competitive slapping now?
Yes. Is that No. I think I've heard of that.
There is, yeah.
Wow. Isn't there like competitive tickle fights or something?
When?
No one ever wins a fight.
Oh yeah, and that's Daniela Melchior.
I think it's cool that he has like a backstory of being like a fighter or whatever, as lame as I find UFC or whatever.
Yeah, instead of like just he's a really famous bouncer.
Yeah, like that's not a thing.
No. But in the previous movie, there's two famous bouncers, both Patrick Swayze and Sam Elliott.
This ain't the Holiday Inn, pal.
I'm moving.
A friend of mine suggested I come talk to you. I own a Roadhouse out in the Florida Keys. Lately, it's been attracting the wrong clientele. I can pay you good money. Judging by your car, you need
Question.
What?
Isn't a Roadhouse located in an area where like people are frequently traveling through? The keys are at the end of the road.
That's a good point.
You're not traveling through the keys. You're either there or you're not.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't just want to stop at a roadside bar when going to the Keys?
I feel like it's off Route 66, a Roadhouse, not a shrimp shack or whatever. Anyway.
Shrimp shack. Yeah, but it's owned by Jessica Williams, who we ranked as I want to say a C tier Daily Show correspondent.
All right.
B tier. I think we did B tier.
I like my car.
Think about it.
Ooh, it said something about the Bourne Identity.
It did. The producer of the Bourne Identity, I think.
Got a knife under his shirt. You just take a big step back and pop me in the face. You can do it. Tell me about this bouncer.
Yeah, it's all nice, like he's Mr. Rogers or something, but then he'll haul off. Really interesting guy, overall.
Brand wants to take the Roadhouse away from me.
That guy's funny.
I just... Swayze at least portrays like a modicum of too cool action hero,
but like in really tight, high-waisted jeans.
Yeah, and I think he's a short king by today's standards, and so is Gyllenhaal. But also, like, he gets ripped, but he doesn't like look ripped in the same way.
Like he doesn't look inflated.
Right. He doesn't look like a Stretch Armstrong doll trying to wear pants.
He's like sinewy.
Yes.
Okay.
He wants to build some resort
in the Florida Keys.
People have a certain way of getting.
Was that John Hamm
here?
No, that was still Jake Gyllenhaal.
No, the guy on the boat, the sunglasses.
Looks like you're having a
Yeah, that was Jake Gyllenhaal.
No, it wasn't.
I got a tip for you. Don't let no one get this close.
Let me guess. Threaten me. Tell me to get out of town.
What was that accent? That was horrible.
That he can't be threatened.
Once Knox is on the job, it's over, baby.
Like, I just feel like you're missing something, right? He's supposed to be an unbeatable.
Isn't he also a UFC person, or is he just an actor?
Who? The guy that was
the guy with the accent? Here's the thing. It's the worst accent I've ever heard. I think it might be real.
That's Conor McGregor.
Okay. It's an awful accent. Like, it sounds like he's doing an impression of an accent, but it's his real accent.
That's Irish professional mixed martial artist and professional boxer Conor McGregor.
I thought so.
Yes. Also, I think he has a whiskey line.
But again, it sounds like someone doing a really bad Irish accent.
Maybe he's been hit in the head too many times.
That could be.
Uh-oh.
Oh, dearie me.
It's not fun.
It takes a lot to get me angry, but when I am...
You wouldn't like me when I'm
angry. Go. People seem a little aggressive around here.
Interestingly, it's like Miami, but with no yellow filter.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good point. Everything's blue.
No, I just
it's weird.
broke his arm.
So that was that one. It's a reimagining of the 1989 film of the same name.
Well,
also, like,
I think the story makes a little bit more intuitive sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like back in the 80s, it was always just like two famous people in this industry, but like it's not an industry where there's famous people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They weren't against each other. They were friends in that one.
Well, yeah, but like they're okay, fair. But like,
yeah,
it just seems weird that like, what am I trying to say?
That there's two famous bouncers and everyone in Dalton, Missouri knows who they are.
It's like, of course, like he's a famous bouncer and then he would just happen to land at the bar that needed the most significant bouncing. Just as a matter of coincidence.
No, he gets hired by the bouncer or by the owner of the bar.
But just because the people are being unrulier than usual at this bar?
Yes, and they seek out the best bouncer.
The cops would just come.
They don't call the cops a single time in the film.
I think Jake Gyllenhaal's a bit miscast.
Oh, this came out 9 days after my birthday. Or my birth, excuse me.
I think it's nice that they tried to go for the authenticity of like having another UFC guy in there, but he's a catastrophically bad actor just from that trailer.
But he also, like, you can tell proportionally, Jake Gyllenhaal is not in the same class as that man.
Right, which I think is like makes him kind of the underdog, you know?
Right. But he shouldn't be, or at least in the original movie, he's not an underdog. He's never the underdog, which I guess doesn't allow for good drama, but also makes for a more entertaining action movie.
But at the end of the day, right, Boot or Reboot was all about which one
gun to your head
would you rather watch?
Mm-hmm. And based off of the trailer alone.
Yeah.
Which is fair. I unfortunately have also watched today the Cinema Sins, Everything Wrong with Roadhouse, and the Honest Trailers Roadhouse earlier in the week.
Okay, so who wants to go first with their verdict?
If we're basing it solely off the trailers, that first trailer that first trailer was not great.
No. It's got the voice going for it.
Yeah. Sam Elliott. Yeah, I'm on the fence, just based on the trailers alone. So I'm going to allow what I've seen of the movie so far to sway me into saying I would want to see the first one over the new one. But the new one looked kind of okay.
I'd probably watch the new one.
Yeah.
Like okay, I realize that's sacrilege, and like in reality, you would never watch the second one without watching the first one.
You watched the Footloose, didn't you?
No. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
But no, I watched both actually. I watched the old Footloose.
Did you?
Yeah, I watched the old one.
Oh.
Like it'd be sacrilege to watch the new one without watching the old one, and I probably would watch the old one and then the new one. But as far as like off the trailers, which one looks like the better movie?
Mm-hmm. Because they both look bad.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't think Roadhouse is considered a great movie. It's just kind of a classic, you know?
It's a cult classic, which usually to you means not good at all. And I like Daniela Melchior.
Melchior.
She is in she's in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. She's in Fast X. And she was in the new Suicide Squad, the James Gunn one, as which was pretty good. Reboot for that one for sure. But also Jake Gyllenhaal's 43, she's 27.
Sounds about right.
Whereas Swayze,
is this Dan Schneider's Roadhouse? I mean, Zack Snyder's Roadhouse. I mean, what?
Well, because Kelly Lynch was older than Patrick Swayze in the 1989 version. Mm-hmm. So yeah, but she also played a doctor. Whereas it looks like...
Why would a doctor be in that sort of place? Also, why is this Roadhouse at the end of the road? I still don't get that.
Well, no, because in Roadhouse, in the 1989 Roadhouse, she's the doctor that he sends all the people to.
Oh.
And, you know, she's a small town doctor. Whereas if you're in Florida, apparently you have a large hospital. And I think she just plays a nurse. So
okay.
That's embarrassing. Because women can't be doctors in 2024, according to Roadhouse, Florida. 2024. That's all I gotta say. And with that
all
note,
right. Well, we've done it. That's the Reboot or Reboot. I'm going with the new version of Roadhouse. Brandon's going with the old version of Roadhouse.
Yeah, I might just go with the new version of Roadhouse.
And now let's go to Brandon for the Namely 90s Minute.
Welcome back to Namely 90s Minute. Every week we look back at a culturally relevant show, movie, or piece of pop culture that probably helps stoke the algorithm. This week, in honor of Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire, we're looking back at one of the most controversial Godzilla movies of all time, 1998's Godzilla. Godzilla is a 1998 monster film based on the Japanese franchise of the same name, directed by the director of Independence Day, starring Ferris Bueller, the police captain from the Da Vinci Code, the voice of Moe from The Simpsons, Sam Witwicky's father from the Transformers franchise, the voice of Mr. Burns from The Simpsons, and Beth from News Radio. The story starts when an iguana nest is exposed to fallout from a nuclear test done by French Polynesia, which eventually creates Godzilla. In the present, a Japanese cannery vessel is attacked by a giant creature in the South Pacific, with only one survivor. Dr. Wargames, a Nuclear Regulatory Commission scientist, gets a special assignment from the State Department to go investigate the trail of wreckage in the wake of what the survivor called Gojira. He dismisses the idea that it was a dinosaur and determines it's a mutant caused by nuclear testing. The creature travels to New York City and they try to lure it out and kill it using a giant pile of fish, but are unsuccessful. Dr. Ladyhawk then discovers the creature is pregnant, reproducing asexually, and is collecting fish to feed its offspring. Also, his ex-girlfriend visits him and steals a classified tape about how the monster was created, hoping to launch her on-air TV reporting career, but her boss swoops her story. As a result of the leak, Dr. Simba is removed from the project and is then kidnapped by a French team trying to cover up their country's involvement in the creation of the creature. Meanwhile, Godzilla resurfaces and is attacked by the Navy and is thought to have been killed. The French team finds Godzilla has made a nest out of Madison Square Garden with over 200 eggs inside. The eggs start to hatch and attack the team as they scurry around and hide from the terrors, and then alert the military to what is happening. In response, the military decides to bomb Madison Square Garden, with the four surviving protagonists escaping the garden moments before it happens. Godzilla reemerges, pissed off its children are dead, and chases down the remaining protagonists in a taxi through New York City. They manage to trap Godzilla in the cables of Brooklyn Bridge, and the military shoots and kills it. The movie then ends on a shot of a single remaining Godzilla egg hatching and roaring to life. And that's Godzilla in a Namely 90s Minute. More or less.
And now back to the show.
All right. Andrew might have teased it at the top of the episode. There's some fun casting rumors. Not fun.
There is a stronger than other casting rumor situation. You know what I mean? There's been a lot of them, and it's mostly just clickbait, but this one seems to be corroborated on multiple sites as a likely outcome.
Yeah, but he also has denied it, and what you have to do in that situation.
Yeah.
But, what are your thoughts on?
It's Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah.
Is his middle name Taylor, or is it a hyphenated last name?
No, he married an older woman like Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse, and they hyphenated their last names together.
So, let's see. I don't know much of this person's work. He has bad hair in every picture.
Well, I mean, that's kind of more of a recent.
Really bad hair. And it's kind of funny. I had to cover his hair to picture his head, because it's just because James Bond is very clean cut, suave, doesn't have this messy rat's nest of disaster going on in his head.
His Wikipedia photo is him younger when he has shorter hair.
Okay, hold on.
But he's definitely grown it out in the last 2 years.
Yeah, it looks really. Sometimes people need to be told that it looks bad. Like long hair doesn't look good on everyone. I'm just saying.
I don't think it looks that bad.
I think it looks atrocious.
It just doesn't look like you're pointing this at me. I just feel like he doesn't style it every single time the paparazzi finds him. Like if you look at like the Vogue photos or whatever that is, Giorgio Armani red carpet. It looks better. It looks more styled. It looks like
it's gonna have to go.
Right.
But then again, so like, am I excited about this casting? Not necessarily. But I was also like super against Daniel Craig as James Bond, and then it was very for it. So,
but I mean, we don't even know what they're doing with James Bond. We don't know if they're rebooting it. They don't know if we're getting like back to basics.
And of course, the Republicans think it's going to be too woke and all that.
It's like you never saw the Timothy Dalton ones where he never slept with a Bond woman.
And Nolan's not involved anymore, right?
I don't think so. Oh, that's like probably why the rumors were like, because he was in Tenet.
Yeah, but then I think Nolan wanted too much creative control, and they didn't want to give him that because they still want him to just like go around and sleep with women, and like they want to change it, but they don't actually want to change it. You know?
I mean, isn't the head of the family a woman now?
It was very confusing because there was like a woman James Bond, but they alluded to it.
What?
But then he died.
Well, they gave the 007 moniker to a woman.
True, but it felt like that was
James Bond moniker.
That was a setup, though. You know what I mean?
They could have continued it.
Would it be Joan Bond?
Well, he's not a Time Lord. Like he doesn't regenerate into the next person.
Well, that's why I don't understand.
It's not. It's his name. They don't give his name away. It's just the 007 moniker.
I think, frankly, they didn't know where they were going with it, so they left their options a bit open.
Oh, totally.
And also, I think like as much as it's a cliche for like the hero to have plot armor and never die, like. Then making the hero die is almost more of a cliche, especially in a serialized movie. You know,
I'll be honest. I would watch a movie about the Ana de Armas character.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, nothing against Lashana Lynch, but I felt like Naomi Harris, who played Moneypenny in the Craig movies, deserved that 007 thing, even though I get it, she was the secretary, but like she was a spy at one time in the films.
The problem is like I didn't like it, and unfortunately I can't.
Like No Time to Die?
No, I liked the movie. I didn't like the whole like female 007. Like not to say I wouldn't support it. I thought the actress was bad.
Yeah,
I thought it felt stilted and kind of like badly acted, and that makes me sound like an a-hole, but.
I mean, she's a good actress, but
I'm not saying she's not, but I didn't think she was great in that role.
In that role, it wasn't the best, but I mean,
there's an element of like I feel like when there's an element of trying a bit too hard, it comes across.
Yes,
like it shouldn't feel efforted. I guess it's hard. I don't know, but also I don't know. It was rough. Was it my favorite Craig movie? No.
Wow, she's Maria Rambeau. I was like, she's in a Marvel movie. I think.
Why are we talking about this? Oh, we're taking a BuzzFeed quiz.
If we want to.
Yeah, we have the time.
We have a BuzzFeed quiz. You can find it in the comments below. Also, we got 100 subscribers, over 100 subscribers this week. So thank you, everyone out there. But we're going to be taking Which James Bond Are You? And you can play along with us. Starting with Choose a Martini. And they have 6 photos of a martini. Let's see if I can do this. It looks like we have a dirty martini, 3 olives. Oh, no.
It's not dirty, though. It's not cloudy.
Right. We have a martini with 3 olives. We have what appears to be a dirty martini with a twist. Definitely a dirty... Okay, let me try again. We have a martini, 3 olives. I'm going to assume vodka.
Yeah.
We have I'm going to assume a vodka martini with a twist.
Kind of looks like a Vesper, actually.
Vesper. Could be a Vesper.
The one on the right, gin and vermouth. The third one.
That is definitely a dirty martini.
Okay.
Because of the olives, and I would say it's olive juice.
Right. Fair enough.
We have what looks to be a Cosmo.
Yeah. The next one seems to be a margarita, which is not correct.
Definitely a margarita in a martini glass. And I was going to say chocolate martini, but it looks like an espresso martini.
Oh, gosh. This is tough. I love the heck out of an espresso martini.
Hands down, I will go with a Vesper out of these 6.
I'm going to end up being the black girl, aren't I?
I do like a Cosmo. If they, that movie hadn't come out yet. This is 2017. Choose a location for your mission: England, Egypt, China, France, Russia, Italy. We were saying that a lot on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Well, I don't know why you're spying in England.
Yeah, if you're James Bond.
I think Italy, the food, the climate.
To be fair, like a third of the James Bond films are like around MI6, or a third of the films or like Brosnan, Craig films. Yeah.
I'll go. It's Italy.
I mean, I think I already know what these are related to. So I was going to pick Italy, which is why I'm now trying to think quickly. I'll go Egypt.
Okay.
Because that's where one of my favorite Bond films took place. Choose a villain. We have Oddjob, Le Chiffre, Mr. Big / Kananga, Ernest Stavro Blofeld, the Diamonds Are Forever version, Jaws, or Goldfinger. Goldfinger.
Let's see. I like Oddjob's throwing hat.
Mm-hmm. But you can't play as him on Goldeneye.
True.
Because that's cheating. You're too short.
I still want to go with Oddjob.
Okay.
I think the throwing hat is great. Le Chiffre is weird. Like, why does he have asthma?
Was it asthma, or did he like cry blood?
Yeah, he did both, but he had an albuterol inhaler.
Oh, is that?
Were they trying to humanize him?
I think so, or show he has weakness. I never liked the Diamonds Are Forever Blofeld. I was really pissed off when they made the reveal in Spectre that what's his face is Blofeld.
Oh, Christopher Waltz.
Yeah, when it's like we know he is, and then I know he's playing a new original character, just like in Star Trek.
That's who Dr. Evil is based on.
Yes, because he's the original head of Spectre. I'll go with Jaws.
All right.
I feel like I've been saying all of these.
Oh, I could say choose a classic car: AMC Hornet, Sunbeam Alpine, the Aston Martin DB5, Toyota 2000 GT, Mercury Cougar, or Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud 2. I feel like I don't know. I liked the Mercury Cougar a lot. I always wanted one of those when I was growing up.
Really?
So it's like the Mustang. It's the Mercury version of the Mustang.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty cool looking.
I want to say that was Roger Moore when he in Live and Let Die.
Was he in America?
Yes.
Okay.
Then I've always been partial to the Aston Martin DB5 personally. So
okay.
Choose Bond Girl. We have the amazing Honey Rider. We have Mayday from the Christopher Walken one. We have Plenty O'Toole, who I do not remember from.
Sorry, were these Dan Schneider TV character names?
Yes.
Like was it Penelope Taint? That was a thing.
Yes. Based off of Pussy Galore, who served Art Goldfinger, Solitaire from I'm going to say that's the one where Sean Connery went to Japan.
Is that the one with the Japanese garden?
Yes, I think so. And then Jinx Johnson, played by Halle Berry.
Oh boy. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Solitaire. The button downs are like Japanese turtleneck thing.
No, Solitaire, I want to say, was from Live and Let Die, and she was like the tarot card reader, so she knew the future. Or
I think it's like kind of it's kind of classy. She's showing like no skin. Although to be fair, Mayday is wearing like a oversized leather jacket, and
Plenty O'Toole is cropped to just be 3 boobs.
Yeah,
I like Pussy Galore because
you just wanted to say it.
Well, no, because I want to say it in the Sean Connery voice where you go, pushy.
Choose a cufflink. We have a lightly rectangular silver cufflink, a black circular shiny cufflink, sort of a patterned sterling silver cufflink, an anchor cufflink, a gold cufflink, and a silver bar cufflink.
Sorry, I was just looking up what movie Plenty O'Toole was in.
Oh boy, the cufflinks.
I like that square one.
Yeah, square one's cool. I'm gonna go with like the textured sort of pewter looking one.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Ooh, no, I'm going with the gold bar.
Oh yeah, classy. Be honest, which of these is more your spy style? We have an AI generated Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible 1. Actually, no, these are clearly just stock photos.
But it's an Asian woman. Yeah.
We have 2 people in pea coats, Matrix style glasses,
with headsets
that they're holding their hands to. We have what looks like Mary Kate and or Ashley Olsen looking through binoculars in one of their spy detective movies.
Yep.
We have a hacksaw wearing a sweatshirt over a hoodie that covers his face so you can't see anything while he's at a desk hacking. We have, I assume they wrote female James Bond, Asian into a AI generator. And we have what appears to be Jim Carrey.
Oh, I thought it was Dan Aykroyd. I couldn't tell.
That's a good one too. Yeah.
Well, I feel like because I watch so much Bond stuff, like just the shoot 'em up spy thing is more my jam. Although that's not really what spies do.
Right.
They probably do more of the pea coats with headsets thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going with the female James Bond with a gun.
I'll go with the Indiana Jones hat and binoculars staring.
Okay. Yes. There's no text. It just is the name.
There is no text.
I got George Lazenby looking at a centerfold. That was George Lazenby. He's the one who did like one movie.
Yep, he did one movie where James Bond gets married and then she dies at the end. Spoilers.
And it wasn't even part of the arc, was it? The canon?
No, you're thinking of the Sean Connery one where they redid Thunderball.
Oh, okay.
You Only Live Twice. God, I couldn't remember that earlier. No, so Lazenby is in between Connery's 5th and 6th movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They really screwed the pooch on that one.
Yeah. People say it's one of the best Bond movies and he's one of the best Bonds. I say you're wrong. I got Roger Moore. Personal favorite Bond.
I got ripped off.
That's hilarious. You got Lazenby. I don't know how you pulled that off. But yeah, I got Roger Moore. He's one of my favorite Bonds, or he was definitely my favorite Bond growing up before, we got into like GoldenEye and stuff. So he got Octopussy.
Let's see. What movie did you drive the Cougar in? You said it was On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Yes. What did I mean to say?
I don't know. well,
wait,
there you
no,
go.
that's the one that that's his On Her Majesty's Secret Service is the movie George Lazenby was in.
Oh,
so that's probably why you got it.
All right, fair
also,
enough.
I went to the Sphinx Observatory, which is where they shot that film, or parts of the film. Yeah, it's in Switzerland.
It was ordered with a 428 cubic inch 4V Cobra Jet Ram Air V8 engine.
Ooh, baby. I don't know what those words mean.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go.
So final question. Would you rather be George Lazenby or Aaron Taylor Johnson with his current hairstyle?
George Lazenby.
Okay.
The guy's got it down.
And that's it for this week's edition of Namely 90s. Remember, you find new episodes out every Monday. Find us on Instagram, Bluesky, and YouTube at Namely 90s with 90s, and tell us what you want us to talk about on future episodes. If you'd like to support the show, please check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Namely90s, also with the 90s. And finally, you can also contact us through our website, namely90s.com. Please subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Audible, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, Deezer, TuneIn, iHeart, Good Pods, and wherever you get your podcasts from. I'm Brandon. That's Andrew, and we will catch you next time.
Which is a guarantee that you won't, by the way. The phrase, I might cut this out in post.